Picture this. You've got two friends, right? Both 22 years old, both landing their very first real job on the exact same day. And get this, they're both starting with the exact same salary. Pretty standard start to adult life, you know?
But let's hit fast forward. It's 20 years later, and we're looking at them now. One of these friends, they own this gorgeous house, they've built a rock-solid portfolio generating passive income, and they literally never stress about money. But the other friend is completely drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, just constantly wondering where the heck all the cash went. Same starting line, totally different finish lines. Honestly, it completely shatters the myth that earning a good salary somehow guarantees you'll be wealthy.
So, what actually happened here? Did the wealthy friend just get lucky, win the lottery, find buried treasure in their backyard? No way. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack the exact decisions that create this massive gap. Because the crazy thing is, the difference really just comes down to choices that seem incredibly small at the time, but absolutely snowball over a career.
Okay, let's dive right into part one, the leaky bucket, income versus habits. Because we really need to tackle the biggest lie out there about money, that deeply ingrained belief that simply earning a higher income will automatically make you rich.
Let's look at a super simple analogy. Imagine your income is water flowing from a pipe into a bucket. Your spending habits, those make up the bucket itself. Now, if your bucket is just full of holes, the water is going to keep leaking out exactly as fast as it pours in. And here's the harsh reality check, getting a bigger water pipe won't fix a leaky bucket. It just means you lose water faster. This is exactly why you hear those crazy stories of high-earning doctors or even pro athletes going totally bankrupt. If your financial habits are flawed, you are going to stay broke no matter how much cash is coming in.
So what do these financial holes actually look like compared to the habits that patch them up? Well, the holes are things like unnecessary spending, racking up bad debt, and just making poor day-to-day choices. On the flip side, the patches are your savings and your investments. The takeaway here is absolutely crucial. You have to patch those holes before you ever start worrying about the size of the water pipe.
All right, moving on to section 2, the pockets, assets versus liabilities. This brings us right to the fundamental difference in how the rich and the poor actually spend whatever water is left in their buckets.
Let's contrast two totally different mindsets. Take person A. They get their paycheck and immediately go out and buy the newest phone, some designer clothes, hit up expensive restaurants, and by the end of the month, bank account reads zero. That instant gratification leaves them holding a bunch of stuff that's rapidly losing value. Now look at person B. They definitely enjoy life too, but before they spend a dime, they save and invest a chunk of every single paycheck. They're building a foundation first and then having a blast with whatever is left over.
The absolute crux of all this is understanding two insanely simple terms. Let's use a pockets analogy because it makes this totally foolproof, especially if you're just starting out in your career. Here it is. An asset is simply something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Boom. That's literally it.
So let's apply that to the exact choices wealthy people make. A shiny luxury car? That's a massive liability. It takes money out of your pocket to maintain, and it loses value the literal second you drive it off the lot. But an asset? We're talking about a rental property or a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks. Wealthy folks focus relentlessly on buying assets first, so their money goes to work earning more money while they sleep.
Which leads us to part 3, planting the tree. Let's talk about compound interest. Seriously, if you're early in your career right now, I am about to introduce you to your absolute secret weapon.
You might actually know this famous quote. It's usually attributed to Albert Einstein. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Honestly, this isn't just a fun little piece of trivia to sound smart at parties. It highlights just how incredibly powerful and really transformative compound interest becomes over the course of a lifetime. And you want to know the best part? You really do not need to be rich to start doing this. Take a look at this number, 5,000 rupees. It's a remarkably small starting seed. A simple 5,000 monthly investment is literally all it takes to begin planting your own wealth tree today.
The magic of compounding is, well, exactly like growing a tree. In year 1, it looks tiny. It feels like almost nothing is happening, but you don't touch it. You just keep investing. And eventually, your money actually begins earning returns. And then, this is where it gets crazy, those returns start earning their own returns. Give it 20 years, and that tree is massive. It's compounding on itself, and it becomes completely impossible to ignore.
Let's look at a real-world example of how this plays out. Say Sarah starts investing when she's 20, but Rahul, he waits until he's 30.
Now, even if Rahul panics later on and starts throwing way more money into his accounts every month just to catch up, Sarah is still going to end up with vastly more wealth simply because she got a head start. It's definitive proof of the golden rule. Time is way more powerful than money. Starting early gives you an absolutely unbeatable advantage.
All right, Section 4, the trap of instant gratification. If the math is this obvious, why on earth doesn't everyone just do it? Well, we have to talk about the major psychological hurdle that stops so many young professionals from planting their trees right now. It comes down to human nature. We are literally hardwired to choose pleasure today over a reward tomorrow. Buying a shiny new gadget feels incredibly exciting in the moment, but the act of transferring money into an investment account, let's be real, it feels terribly boring. But you have to realize that boredom, that's just the price of admission for long-term freedom.
Wealthy people actively train themselves to delay that gratification. Because think about these seemingly harmless traps we all fall into. A fancy daily coffee, a mindless late-night online shopping habit, 5 different streaming subscriptions that you literally never watch. On their own, they seem like nothing, right? But combined, over a few decades, they act as massive, gaping leaks in your financial bucket, and they will cost you lakhs of rupees.
So here's a challenge for you. Start asking yourself the exact same question the wealthy use before they make any financial decision. Will this purchase actually help my future? Instead of obsessing over what you can buy today, force yourself to look at what you are building for tomorrow. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to our final part. The second best day is to start today. Let's pull all these analogies together, the buckets, the pockets, the trees, and lay out exactly how you can apply this stuff right now as you're starting out.
It honestly all boils down to 4 winning habits. Number 1, spend less than you earn. Number 2, invest consistently. Number 3, avoid unnecessary debt like the plague. And number 4, buy assets instead of liabilities. This proves once and for all, you don't need a massive salary to be rich, you don't need a trust fund, and you definitely don't need to be some sort of financial genius. You just need better habits.
Which leaves us with this one final thought. The rich don't become wealthy overnight. They just make smart decisions over and over again. Your future doesn't depend on how much money you make today. It depends entirely on what you do with the money you already have right now. There's an old saying, the best day to start investing was years ago. The second best day, that's today. So, what are you going to do today?